All right, so we flew on a plane
Yes.
about 3 weeks ago or a month ago.
Yeah, I think 2 weekends ago.
Right, so flight was fine on the way there. So we're coming in for a landing. We're right above the wheels. And we hit the ground hard.
Yeah, it was a bit jarring.
Very jarring. And right after we got off the plane, I told Alyssa I remembered the time I was driving.
Oh my god.
And I was on some back roads, very hilly, and you can't really see the end of the road. And going probably 40, 45, that was the speed limit. Coming down the hill, all of a sudden there's a giant pothole. Gotta love potholes.
They just appear out of nowhere.
And I hit that, there was a car right behind me, so I couldn't slow down. Hit it going 40. My soul left my body. Like, I literally felt my soul leave, come back down. And it takes you a second to get back once you hit a hard pothole.
Oh, because you clench. You're like, your whole body clenches and you're like,
and sometimes you, like, your jaw, like, hurts because you've, like, basically bit down on your teeth really hard.
Yes.
So, I'm trying to just, like, make sure I'm all good, because I'm pretty sure my head, like, came up and hit the ceiling at some point. Like, it was bad. And, I've been driving for about 30 seconds, and I look up, and my dashboard is cracked.
You had a significant crack in your dashboard in your old car.
So it literally cracked my dashboard.
Yeah.
The air vent was just cracked on the middle. It fell out.
It was about a good, 3-inch crack. It just went through your entire dashboard.
So that should tell you how hard I hit that pothole. If it could crack my dashboard.
Yes. But you somehow didn't get a flat tire.
No.
Which surprises me, because I hit a pothole last year during COVID, and it caused me to have a flat tire.
Yeah.
I broke down on the highway.
I thought I was going to have a flat tire.
Yeah.
Did not, but yeah. That's the story of the first time my soul left my body. I feel like it's happened a couple times since then.
What's the other time your soul
Those
left
will
your
come
body?
later.
Oh.
You gotta listen to more podcasts.
Okay. Welcome. This is Research, Rank, Repeat.
This is Hannah.
This is Alyssa.
Sorry to cut you off.
Cut me off there. You got a little too excited.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited because this is the second time we've had a guest.
Yes, we have another new special guest today.
Would you like to introduce yourself? Guest?
Yeah, hi. It's it's me.
So formal.
Hi, I'm Shannon, and I've known you guys for 8 years now. I'm Austin's fiance, your brother, so practically in-laws at this point, and I'm really happy to be here.
Yay.
Yeah, we're happy to have you.
Me too.
We figured if we were gonna do Mamma Mia, which is what we're doing this week, we should pick the person who appreciates it almost as much, even more so than we do.
Yeah.
It's only fair.
Considering Shannon and you were supposed to come, but you were unable to due to illness, we went and saw Mamma Mia 2 together in theaters. You missed out on our fun little trip. You were sick.
You had a really bad headache.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you bowed
that.
out. You were like, yeah, I'm not going.
Oh.
We're like, okay.
I think I went with Mom.
You did later.
Eventually, at some point, we went together.
We had a lovely
did.
date. We went to the movies. We got delicious sandwiches and
Yeah.
ate by a creek.
Right, we walked down
sorry.
the path. Yeah, we had a lovely time. We laughed at Austin's Business with some other ladies in the theater, over one of the commercials that aired. It was a great time.
Sounds great. But yeah, so this week we are ranking from both Mamma Mias. We are going to be ranking our favorite dance musical sequences.
We were trying to figure out how we wanted to do this ranking. We didn't know if we wanted to just do the soundtrack itself, just the songs, or if we wanted to do the scenes. So we kind of just decided that we're looking at both movies. We are looking at the entirety of the musical numbers. They have to be in the movie. We are counting the credit scenes as well, because those are technically still in the movie. There are a few songs that appear on soundtracks, but they're not actually in the movie, and we will not be including those. But yeah, it's just kind of like, what's important to you? The way the dance choreography, the music, who's singing it, all of that combined, it's kind of up to us. There's no real super serious way that we did this.
There's a little car.
Oh.
So we have the windows open. It's very hot up here in the room we're in.
It is very hot.
But yeah, I mean, it was our own interpretation how you want to rank the list. So the list might be slightly different in structure, but the end result is the same.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, do you want to do some background first?
Sure. I got some background. So, Mamma Mia, the movie, was released in 2008 and was followed up with the sequel, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, in 2018. So the movie is based on a musical that was created in 1999 by Katherine Johnson. She also did the screenplay and wrote for both movies as well. And that musical is based on the music of the popular Swedish band known as ABBA. And ABBA was a band that was active from 1972 to 1982 and is one of the most popular and successful international pop groups of all time. You've probably heard at least one of their songs if you haven't seen the Mamma Mia movies. But also, if you haven't seen the Mamma Mia movies, please see the Mamma Mia movies. It's said that the story draws similarities to the 1968 film Buonasera, Mrs. Campbell, which was also then turned into a musical in 1979 known as Carmelina. It's essentially where a young girl doesn't know who her father is between three men. So although the screenwriters and writers say that they did not draw inspiration from the movie, a lot of people have noticed the similarities are there.
3 men and a baby.
Yep, exactly.
Same thing.
So, to go back to ABBA for a minute there, it's composed of 4 artists who started out as 2 married couples. And eventually they both ended up divorcing, as what happens with many bands that have people who are married in them. And so 2 of the songwriters of ABBA were involved in the production of the movies and also have cameos in the background. Those are Benny Andersson and Bjorn... I think I wrote the same last name twice. I have Benny Andersson and Bjorn Andersson, and I know...
Well, maybe they're married?
No, those were the 2 men.
Oh.
They were married
Well,
to the
they could be married.
I mean, maybe now, but they were married to the 2 other women in ABBA.
Bjorn Ulvaeus.
Okay, yeah, so I wrote the same last name twice, accidentally. Thank you, Shannon.
You're welcome.
So, going back to Mamma Mia, it had a budget of like $50 million and grossed $650 million worldwide. Mm-hmm. It was the highest grossing live musical of all time until Beauty and the Beast took over that spot. And then it also had the highest gross for a female director, who for the first movie was Thalia Lloyd. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She only did the first movie. She was not involved with the second movie, but that held until Wonder Woman with Patty Jenkins in 2017. Mamma Mia was both the fastest selling DVD and the highest grossing DVD of all time in the UK. It sold upwards of 5 million copies, which before that, the highest selling movie on DVD was one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And it currently has a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. It had a lot of mixed reviews, mainly due to some of the vocals of some of the actors and actresses in the movie.
I forgot his name.
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
Can I add
Yes.
something?
Oh, go ahead.
Speaking of him,
Yes.
I found out that he had a huge crush on Meryl Streep, I think,
Oh.
in drama school when they
Oh.
were younger. So when he
Scandalous.
found out about the movie and they offered it to him, he accepted it
Because of Meryl.
Streep. He didn't know it was a musical, which explains everything.
Oh, no.
I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, we're all crushing on Meryl. I think I would have jumped at the opportunity
love
too.
her.
So
That's
Can't wait
fair.
to talk about her more
Yes.
later.
Speaking of Meryl Streep, she was a fan of the stage show. She actually saw it right after 9/11 with her daughter and some of her daughter's friends and became a huge fan of it because it was a lively, uplifting thing after such a tragic event. Mm-hmm. And so she was trained in opera singing as a child and sang in some of her previous films, but hadn't done like a full-scale musical until Mamma Mia. And she actually did The Winner Takes It All in one take. Mm. Because all of the actors and actresses recorded all of their own music. Mm-hmm. I mean, clearly as Pierce Brosnan, they could have gotten him a different singer, certainly.
Well, I think they learned in the second movie because they really only gave him one little scene to do.
Oh, yeah. I think they learned.
Yeah. It's fine.
The last thing I just wanted to say is that for both films, Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson are executive producers of the films.
I love Tom Hanks.
They're
Such
great.
a national
Yeah,
treasure.
he is a national treasure.
Well, Rita Wilson's like a singer. She's like, she does a lot of singing and stuff on her side, so.
And she's also next door, Pet and Ted.
She's from Jingle All the Way.
Oh.
One of the greatest Christmas movies of all time.
We have a lot of quotes from that movie, so.
Is that the one with the,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
he's trying to get the toy for
Yes.
Turbo Man.
Turbo
Yeah.
Man. Ta-ta, Turbo
Thank
Man. Shannon, do you have anything else about the first movie? I've got a few things about the second movie, but...
Oh, let's see. I do have one more thing that I thought was interesting.
Okay.
So one of the ABBA members, original members, Benny Anderson, not Bjorn,
Not Bjorn. Yeah.
but Benny. I'd never noticed this, but during, I think it's Dancing Queen, they're panning over the camera, and there was an older man playing the piano.
Oh, yes.
And that was his cameo.
Yeah.
It was him, and I never noticed that. And it always made me laugh. I'm like, there's just this guy,
Random guy
jamming
on a
out
piano.
all the keys, and it's him. So I thought that was pretty cool.
He's in the second movie too, also
Yeah.
playing the piano.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think during Dancing Queen.
It's either then or during Waterloo.
Yeah,
It's
one
one
of
or
the
the
two.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, so the second film was released 10 years later in 2018, and it is both a prequel and a sequel. So it takes place several years in the future, but it recounts Donna's younger life when she had her encounters with the three men in her life, who could be Sophie's father.
3 gentlemen suitors.
Yes, her 3 suitors. I think his name is pronounced Ole. Ole Parker wrote and directed the second film, along with Katherine Johnson did some writing as well, and I think someone else did. And this movie grossed $395 million worldwide, and currently has a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. While the first film wasn't, the critics weren't a huge fan of the first film, the audiences loved it. It did really well with audiences. This one seems to have done better with critics.
I mean, to be fair, like, I think the first movie for me is more fun. I do think the second movie has a better story
I would agree with
and
that.
plot.
I think it might be a little controversial, but I liked a lot of the songs in the second movie better too. It was a lot harder for me to pick,
Yeah.
Yeah.
songs because I thought they did such a great job. And then they also brought in people who could sing.
Right. Yes.
I really appreciate the fact that all 3 of the younger males were
Yes.
good singers.
Right.
Lily James, who
Yes.
plays Donna,
I love her.
she's a really
her.
good singer.
So, yeah.
She's phenomenal.
And you get less of the characters who not necessarily can't sing, but who wouldn't be as musically gifted.
Right.
Maybe they're a little bit better at acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So, there is a third film in development as of, I believe, 2020. And it's reported that new ABBA songs that were written for the band's reunion that was a few years ago and also ongoing would be in the soundtrack for this movie. Although it's been delayed because of the pandemic and COVID. And so 2 other tidbits of information that I thought were interesting. So Cher was actually offered the role of Tanya in the first movie, but she had to turn it down due to conflicts with touring. But then they asked her to be in the second film. Like, they wrote a role for her because they were like, please be in our movie. We need you. And there's rumors that many of the actors and actresses were drunk during all of filming or some of filming, which has not been confirmed or denied. But it seems like it was a fun environment regardless. You're filming just in Greece and random islands and, it seems like a fun time. And it has been heavily implied that Sophie's real father is Bill. By both the screenwriters and the producers, and just based on the fact that she's named after his, like, grandmother, the inn owner.
great aunt.
The great aunt, yeah. But also that's what they said. They said that it's not, like, flat out said, but that they tried to imply that was who her, like, real father was.
Right. Because even in the end of the first movie, Meryl Streep's like, I don't know who it is. You know what I mean? So she doesn't know, but I guess you're saying, like, the screenwriters were trying to give a hint as to, like, who it could be.
Yes. I guess that's what they've said, is that it's not, like, official, but
yeah.
Who do you think it is? Do you agree, or?
it's hard to say. I
have
mean,
an
I
idea,
can,
but-
based on the way they framed it, I think it's probably Bill, but
I see a lot of similarity characteristic wise with Sam, though.
Me too.
Between
Yeah.
Sam and Sophie.
And just like logistically they were together longer, so they had more opportunities.
Yeah.
To have
To
had
make
that.
babies.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The numbers.
The numbers.
The numbers don't
I
lie.
think we can safely say we don't think it's Colin Firth.
No.
No.
No. I would
Sorry,
disagree.
Colin.
We love Colin Firth.
Yeah,
but
we
don't
love
think he's the
Colin.
father.
Yeah, we love him.
Yeah.
But...
It's like
He's a doll, but
Yeah.
It's like Maui or Mari or whatever. You are not the father.
yeah.
Mari or
Maury.
Maury.
Maori.
Mari. It's like,
Taj Maori?
yeah, I think I was TN tomorrow.
Smart guy.
Do you have anything else, Shannon? I see you've got some notes going on over there.
Let's see. Oh, I thought this was really cool. So, Julie Walters, who plays Rosie, who also plays Molly Weasley in Harry Potter,
Yes.
for all you HP fans.
We love her.
I thought this was really cool, but she took a break during filming, I think in Mamma Mia 2, to go to Buckingham Palace because she became a dame.
Oh, yes. Dame Julie Walters.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dame Julie Walters. And then the other thing I thought was fun because one of the songs in Mamma Mia 2, I think it was Super Trooper.
Yes.
They said it was mostly improvised, which I
Okay.
thought was awesome. And they're like, yeah, they just told the actors to have fun with it. And I really enjoyed that last
Yeah.
scene. So we'll talk about that more later,
Yeah.
I'm sure. But I thought that was fun.
All right. Yeah, so that's just some background about everything with Mamma Mia. There's certainly a lot more I'm sure we could discuss, but it's now time to get to our rankings. Now, I did just a standard top 10. We just narrowed it down to 10. Now, I know, Shannon, you've done 5 from each movie.
I did.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
And how did you do it, Hannah?
Kind of a mix. My list is a bit confusing to me, so I'm just kind of figuring it
That's
out.
fair.
I guess how I kind of based mine based on also like performance and,
Yeah.
and catchiness and
Yeah.
like the sequence. Would you say you agree or like
Yeah,
a
I
bit
did it
different?
like not necessarily what I think is the best song, but also
Right.
like
The collective.
collectively
Yeah,
all
I
together.
try to be as objective as possible.
Yeah, but I intermixed my movies together into just a top 10 list.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
why don't we do this? You'll start with your 10th.
Okay.
Shannon, you can pick one of your bottom 2.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, but yeah.
And then I'll just kind of do my thing.
We'll still do our end list recap at the end.
But
so
like
you-
more in tiers.
more
I
in
guess.
tiers, yeah.
Okay. So you can start, Alyssa.
All right, so I had an incredibly hard time ranking some of these, mostly because there were some movies that had multiple of the same numbers, so I had a lot of difficulty figuring out where to put things and if I should put double on there or if I should just do one of each. So I ended up having one that appeared on my list twice, and that would be for number 10, I have Dancing Queen, the second movie version from Mamma Mia 2. So I think that they went all out with this one. They pulled no stops. You get just a troop of boats appearing in the distance, and everyone's just having a party. And Colin Firth and Bill are doing the Titanic on the edge of the boat. And it's just like a good group number. And Hannah and I watched this yesterday, and I was like, it would be really fun to be an extra in that scene, just being on the boat, you know, dancing, having a good time. But I think I just like the first one better, just because I like the more intimacy of it than the second one. But I think the second one was really well done. They had to step up their game because the first one was so good.
Oh, you can go, Shannon.
All right, so just to recap, since I broke mine down a little bit differently,
Out of those 2 bottom, which one do
Yeah.
you think is like...
the 10th.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, so I think out of the 2 bottom I have, I would say I put Voulez-Vous
Okay.
as a number 10. It's not my favorite, I'll be honest, but it's freaking catchy, and I love the dancing and just the scene, and it's just so fun, and it's also, I like the context, because obviously it's like, well, what are you gonna do? Like, who are you gonna ask to walk down the aisle? Who's gonna be your dad?
Right.
To the guys, are you gonna, you know, especially Sam, are you gonna go after Donna? Like,
Right.
what do you want? So I love the context, and it's also super catchy.
It is very
So-
catchy.
I would say that would be my number 10.
Yep. So number 10, which is a song I didn't really remember. It's from the second movie. I think it's called Why Did It Have to Be Me?
Yes, Bill's song.
I love that song.
So it's a really cute scene, and it's like super simple, but they do this really cool dance sequence on the boat.
Yeah.
They're kind of just doing like a little dance, and I wrote specifically how I appreciated at this moment how, like, talented of singers the younger guys were.
Yes.
Because all three of them
Yeah.
are, like, really good singers.
Yeah.
And also, too, there's some really good background characters. I think Mamma Mia has some of the best background characters and dance sequences out of any, like, musical movies I've seen. Just their facial expressions and just, like, their energy and stuff is great. So, yeah, that was my number 10.
That song just barely missed my list.
Yeah.
Me too.
I was so conflicted on some of these because there's so many I wanted to include.
As much as I love that song,
Yeah.
it was so hard not to include it in the list. But I'm like you said, you're trying to be as objective as possible.
Right.
I do have to let you know I have one honorable mention for each movie. And
Okay.
I can mention that later if that's okay. I don't know if that's allowed.
You could, yeah, you can do that. Before you do your next one, you can certainly mention honorable mentions.
Sure,
I
okay.
think mine would be that one. Why Did It Happen to Me? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called?
Well,
And
I think
then-
it's Why Did It Have to Be?
Why Did It Have to Me? And then my
Why
other
Did It
honorable
Have to
mention
Me?
is I didn't pick either of them, but the duets between Sophie and Sky, both of them in both movies, I think are both really well done, and they're both really good singers, but I just didn't have room for them on my list, but I like both of them a lot. So anyway, going now to number 9, I have Honey Honey from the first Mamma Mia, and it's the first official number of the movie, so it has to have a punch. You know, you're starting the movie off strong. Amanda Seyfried is an amazing singer. You know, they did good picking her for this role, and it's just like a really fun, story-driven song that I really like.
My turn?
Yes.
Alrighty. Alright, so for number 9, it's from Mamma Mia. And I chose Take a Chance on Me. Obviously, it's just so catchy. And I love Rosie and Bill.
Yes, their dynamic is great. I love it.
I can't help it. I'm a sucker for it. And such a fun song. And I think it helped move everything along really well. Because I know some of the other songs prior are kind of slow and not bad at all. But, you know, they're a little more intimate or
Yes.
whatever. But I ended up going with that one. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, that's also a point in the movie you hit where there's like literally 4 or 5 songs within like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just back to
It
back
just-
to back. So when that
keeps
song
going.
comes in, it like, you get going again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
That song just missed my cut, actually.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I love because it starts kind of like slow, you know, and then it just like
Picks
builds,
up.
and she
Yeah.
gets on the table, and then it's like, oh, we're in, we're going.
Number 9, I also had Honey Honey, like
Oh,
Alyssa.
Nice.
I agree. I think it's a really fun song. I think it's a really good way to introduce the 3 guys and kind of set up the plot for the whole movie, intertwined in music, which I really like that.
So for number 8, I have Mamma Mia from the second movie. And so I had a really hard time deciding which Mamma Mia I liked better. But I decided that I like the way in the second movie it builds. Because it starts off as this slow kind of like a cappella. It's just her singing. And then it kind of builds into this number. And I decided I liked that one a little bit more. But it's just like, you know, I mean, it's one of their classic songs. It's what the movie's named after. But it's just like a really fun number.
For me, my number 8 is Does Your Mother Know?
Yes.
Just because Tanya is iconic and Christine, the actress,
It's Christina Baranski.
Thank
I think
you.
is her name. Yeah.
Yep.
and her voice is, she's got it, you know,
Yeah.
and I just really enjoyed it, and it's just so fun, and I also think it kind of helped move the movie along, and I just would highly recommend it. It will get stuck in your head for sure.
Yes.
So number 8, I went with Dancing Queen from the second film. It's a really big, fun dance sequence. I think Mamma Mia does those big, like a lot of people sequences really well. And I liked there were a lot of callbacks with like dance moves. There was the lady who threw the sticks in the first movie. She comes back. So I just like the callbacks. It's just a really fun sequence.
So for number 7, I have The Winner Takes It All from the first Mamma Mia. And I just I love Meryl Streep. The fact that she did it in one take is, like, insane. That she just was like, hey, I'm in, I'm out, I've done it. Here you go. Yeah, and it's just, like, it's a really, like, intimate song. Because, you know, it's just her singing to Sam about, you know, being like, what do you want from me? Like, kind of deal. It's my daughter's wedding. Like, I'm not dealing with this right now. And then she runs up a hill, and I'm like, get it, Meryl. Run up that mountain to the church. So I just like, it's always been a really well done version, because that song is a really hard song to sing. As Hannah and I know, watching many, many years of American Idol, people who pick that song usually butcher it and it sounds horrible. So props to Meryl.
Definitely. For my number 7, I actually went with Mamma Mia from the second movie because I love the dynamic between Donna and the Dynamos, and just seeing them younger. It also sets up, I was going to say Lily James, but Donna's interaction with Bill later on. And it's just about her helping move on, and it's really great, especially Lily James. She's got such singing chops.
Yeah, she's great.
Same thing with Meryl Streep, obviously. And then if it's okay to mention, my honorable mention for Mamma Mia one, it didn't make the cut, but my honorable mention is The Winner Takes It All, just because of how amazing it was. And I also would say, too, I thought I saw somewhere where one of the ABBA members, Benny Anderson, he said it was a miracle. He was like, it was...
Yeah.
I think he witnessed it, and it was like, it was a miracle. Like, it was amazing.
It was so amazing. Number 7, I went with Mamma Mia from the second movie. Pretty much everything Shannon just said. I also like, too, because you get to see the emotion behind the song. Like, where that song comes from. Because in the first movie, you don't really know the context behind it.
Right.
And to see in the second movie, to actually, like, get to witness, you know, her kind of coming up with the song, I guess, it's nice to see.
So for number 6, I have Slipping Through My Fingers from the first Mamma Mia. And I think this is, like, one of the more, like, underrated songs from the movie. It's just, again, it's Meryl. She's singing to Sophie, like, getting ready for her wedding, and just, like... The song is really nice, and the scene is really nice, and just, like, seeing them interact together and, like, the mother-daughter dynamic, I really like to see as well. So I just felt necessary to include it.
For me, number 6 is Mamma Mia from the first movie. I think it was really hard for me to choose between the two, and it was so close that I just naturally felt like, you know what, I do believe that the first one was... with Meryl singing was just a little bit better, but I do agree with you, Hannah, that like the dynamic of the second one where you can see where the origin comes from, it's fantastic. But I loved how well she acted too during that whole sequence, just the shock, and the whole time I was watching it, I'm like, oh my god, I could not imagine being in that situation, and I got a little mad at Sophie. I was like, you just wrecked everybody's lives a little bit. You turned it upside down. Just a little bit. Yeah. But it was a great song.
And the part where the villagers all poke
their
their head up
like a little comedic relief at the same time. It's great.
So number 6, I went with Super Trooper from the second movie, which plays technically in the credits, I guess.
Yeah, technically the credits.
I think it's really fun. Now that I didn't even know that it was like sort of improvised, like they kind of just got to do whatever they want. But I love how you get to see each character with their younger self, sort of the pairs up of the two. Some of the casting's like spot on. Tanya and the girl they got to play younger Tanya look identical in that scene.
They did such an amazing job
really
of
good
casting. And if it's okay to add, in the second movie, I love the running joke of the fairy, the guy who works the ferry.
Oh, yes, yeah.
He's like, checking the ID.
You look better with shorter hair. Time has not been kind to you, sir.
But yeah, I just think it's a really fun way to end, you know, sort of to wrap up the movies. I mean, you did mention they're making another one, but it's a fun, like, extravaganza almost finish, which is cool.
So for number 5, I have Waterloo from Mamma Mia 2. And when Shannon and I went and saw this movie in theaters, we watched it, had a great time. The next day, Shannon texted me and just said, Waterloo has been stuck in my head all day. And I was like, yeah, it's been stuck in my head for like days. It would not leave my head.
Days.
I don't know how it's so catchy. I actually found out that ABBA was in the Eurovision, which is the popular singing contest in Europe. They won Eurovision, but their song they won with was Waterloo. And it was ranked the best song from Eurovision, like, of all time in some, like, random ranking.
That's
but
wild.
It's so catchy, and I love the choreography of the scene. It's, like, so chaotic, but just, like, the right amount of chaos. It's just so extravagant and over the top. And the quick cuts help a lot, but I don't know. I watched it again, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember why this got stuck in my head.
That was number 5, right? Okay, so my number 5, I was surprised I put this on the list, because I was trying to be as objective as possible, but When I Kissed the Teacher, the
Yeah.
opening song. Because, you know, of course, I'm like, I'm sick of that trope.
Yeah,
Like,
right,
come on.
right,
But
yeah.
I can't deny, though, they started that movie so strong.
Yeah.
You got Lily's pipes, you have this amazing choreography, everyone's just having a great time, and it made me so excited for the movie.
Right.
Like whenever you and I were there, like I
Yeah.
could feel my heart. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I'm so ready.
Like, it's
Like I
happening.
know,
Yeah.
right? It's like I was already excited, but now I'm like, oh my god, I'm pumped. It's a really great song. So that is my number 5, and I thought they all did a fabulous job singing as well.
A+ all around.
A+. I
love
get
the,
an
like-
apple for the teacher.
The part where they're on the bikes,
Yes.
like, riding
Yeah.
down the road is so cool.
It was so good,
Yeah.
so good, and I just loved it.
So number 5 is I Have a Dream from the second movie.
Okay.
Which is really interesting because I think I Have a Dream from the first movie is one of my least favorite songs, if
Me
I'm being
too.
honest.
Okay.
Me
But the
too.
second one, the way they do it, where Donna's like seeing the hotel for the first time, and I love Mamma Mia 2 does a really good job of contrasting
Yeah.
scenes.
Yeah, they do.
Where they
Right.
kind of go back and forth. And Lily James has a really good voice. I mean, she just does.
Yes.
But sort of because of that contrasting and just because I enjoyed it so much more than I did the first time, I was like, I can't not put it on my list for that.
Right.
Yeah, speaking of contrasting scenes, my number 4 is I've Been Waiting for You, which Amanda Seyfried sings with Rosie and Tanya, and it's while Donna's giving birth to Sophie. So she's essentially, they parallel like her singing with the Donna and the Dynamos, but it's also like Donna giving birth. And I just like, I know it's not like one of like the hits of the movie, but I just like watching it yesterday. I just like really liked the dynamic, and again, Amanda Seyfried's amazing voice, and I just like liked that song and like the scene. I thought was really well done.
Yeah, I agree. I love the focus on the mother-daughter relationship in
yeah.
this movie, and in the previous movie too, of course, but it's just such a beautiful song.
Right.
For my number 4, because I've been kind of staying on the more cheery,
Yeah.
catchy route.
Yes.
My number 4 is Super Trooper
Okay.
from the 4th
Yeah.
movie. And what's that?
You say fourth movie?
Oh,
Number 4.
Wait, what?
The secret 4th movie. Shannon knows all the details
I
about.
thought I heard you wrong for a
That's
second. I was like,
funny.
I'm
no,
pretty sure you
I
said
said
fourth.
it completely like I fumble over my words
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh,
They know that
They,
one.
they know.
I know you do
Yeah.
too, but yeah. So my number 4 choice from the
Yes.
second
There
movie
we go.
is Super Trooper, just
Right.
because it was so fun, and that's another one that gets stuck in your head. The lyrics don't make sense,
Nope.
but I don't care because
Yeah.
it's so fun to sing. So that one I did choose because it just ended on a really high note there,
Yes.
and I loved it.
So number 4, I did Does Your Mother Know You're Out? I
Oh,
think
yeah.
this is one of the funniest comedically like sequences, and her two friends,
Rosie and Tanya.
yes, they do humor really well. They
Yes.
don't necessarily get the best songs to sing, like
Yeah.
especially in the second movie. I didn't feel like they got the strongest songs. But this sequence, like, it's just so much fun. The dancing's really great. I love the choreographed, like, beach dancing. And, like, she just slays the song. Like, her attitude throughout the whole thing. Like, when she wraps the towel around the guy's, like,
Yeah.
a diaper. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
She's got such Samantha energy
Yes,
Sex
from
and the
Sex
City.
and the City,
Yeah, she does,
and
yeah.
I love Samantha and I love Tanya, so it's just like you get it,
Yeah.
get it, girl.
Yep, I have Does Your Mother Know as my number 3 for the same reasons. I've always loved this number. Like, I actively look forward to it every single time I watch the movie. Hannah and I caught about maybe 15-20 minutes of it in our hotel, and I waited until that part came, so then I'm like, okay, now we can leave. Like, I need to just watch this. But I agree. Christina Baranski is, like, incredibly talented. I think she was on Broadway as well, so she's, like, singer, dancer. She has this confidence and, like, is so charismatic in this, like, scene because, she's probably, like, in her 50s?
Yeah.
I think they're supposed to be like,
like 50-esque era,
Right.
around that age. But she, like, comes across as incredibly confident, incredibly, like, powerful, and she just, the scene is so well done. It's so fun, it's funny, like, it's just, like, I love it.
I want to be that confident
Exactly.
when I'm 50.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. All right, so that was your number 3.
Yes.
My number 3, again, not my favorite, but I have to give it a lot of credit. Fernando.
Yes.
Because Cher, let's be honest, at
icon.
70-some years old, her voice is incredible. Like,
She's
it
an
always
icon.
has been, but the
Yep.
fact that it still is just speaks to her talent. And it's catchy. Like, I know even your brother Austin was like, oh my God, we were driving yesterday. He's like, this song Fernando is stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know. Like, it's
Yeah.
not even my favorite, but I also liked how it had the elements of, like, whenever you go to a play, just
Right.
like the group setting and just, you know, the dancing.
Yeah, the back and forth.
The back and forth. And so I did like that because it kind of helped embody, like, remind you, this is still based on a play. And
Right.
so I like that aspect of
Yeah.
it.
Number 3. So I have Super Trooper from the first movie. The reason I have it higher than the second Super Trooper is because it very much gives me the vibes of Julie Andrews singing in Princess Diaries
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it does.
And it's like,
Yeah.
it's just Meryl singing to her daughter for her wedding. Like, I love the outfits, the eyeshadow,
Yes.
like the makeup's just,
Yeah.
it's very much on point. And sorry, car noise. I love like the super pod part where they do like the
Yeah.
harmonies. Like, I like the emotion more in the first movie in that moment than I do in the second.
Fair, very fair.
Okay, so I can tell just between the three of us, I tended to skew more towards like the ballads. Well, a mix, more ballads and the big dance scene. So for number 2, I have My Love, My Life.
Crush me.
Crushed. I remember in the theater when it pans down to the bowl and you see Meryl Streep in that bowl and she starts singing. It was like I think people gasped in the audience.
Yeah,
like,
they
there were-
did.
and it
For
was like just
sure.
a complete silence hush came over.
I didn't because I think up to that point, you know, she's been gone for a year, and
Right.
you don't think she's gonna be in the movie. Like, it was kind of it was a genuine surprise,
Right.
and a pleasant one, but also
Oh, yeah,
heart wrenching.
it's heart-wrenching, and because you get Lily James singing first, then you get Meryl Streep singing, and then you get Amanda
yeah.
Seyfried joining in as well. So it's
Yeah.
like the three of them all singing in one song, and I've teared up every single time I've watched it. It happened this time as well. Hannah and I were like crying. Our mom was watching with us.
Oh, God.
So
Your mom's the best.
she's made an appearance on this podcast before. You know, she's a late night person, and she was just sitting, and Hannah and I are both tearing up, and my mom just gets up, says nothing, and leaves during the number, and we just are like, what?
So
I thought we were having a moment.
me and Alyssa also, we just started to laugh because we were like, we're just sitting here crying. She just gets up and goes to bed. We found out today that she was falling asleep in her chair, so she just literally like got up and
She's
went
like, yeah, I
upstairs.
couldn't remember how much was left in the movie, so I just went to bed. But we both were like, she's just like, all right, I'm out. Peace during this emotional, like, heart-wrenching moment. But I just, like, it's so well done. That's, like, for having the movie where Donna has been dead for a year, that's probably the best possible way they could have had her come in
Yes.
at the very end and just have this, like, moment.
Yeah.
And they did it so well. So that's my number 2.
Just to say that it unfortunately didn't make my list since I was kind of staying with like the, you know, as
Yeah.
you know, not the ballads as much,
Right.
but it is my honorable mention for that movie
Yeah.
because just like you said, the combination of all three, and again, just showing that link, that special
Right.
link, and it's just it came full circle,
Yeah.
you know, and I bawl every single time Austin happened to be watching. He like came in towards the end, which is when he saw Fernando.
Yeah.
And he was sitting by me. He's like, "Are you gonna be okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. It's just really beautiful and special." And
Did he shed a tear?
he got a little teary.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did.
He's a little
He
emotional.
does. He's got some emotions
Yeah.
deep in there.
Yep.
But yeah, he's it was kind of funny. But yeah, my number 2 is Waterloo.
Yes.
And pretty much the same things. You nailed it on the head before, just with how catchy it is. It's so hard to explain, but it's just like the instruments and the singing and it's such an earworm.
Yes.
And I also loved how they did it in Mamma Mia too. I
Right.
think they had it in the credits in the first
Yes.
one.
They also had it. This is the
Yeah.
first time I ever noticed when Meryl goes to pick up her 2 friends in the car in the first movie. The instrumental of Waterloo's playing,
I can't believe I missed
and
that.
I've never noticed it until this time.
we
And they
watch
put it in the
it.
credits too.
So,
Yeah.
Here we
Yeah.
go again. Mamma
Hannah,
Mia.
to kind of go on a little tangent, Hannah and I in this watching through, noticed how many songs are done instrumentally as like background songs throughout the movie. Like there's like constantly throughout, at least the second movie at least, and in the first movie.
And I got chills a couple times because they pick the songs that like either the character's saying or like mean something for that moment, and they play them as instrumental, and it like really adds to it. This is the first time I noticed how much they do it, and it really adds a lot.
It's funny how even though it's the same movie, like I think I picked up on some that
you don't notice.
Yeah, that I didn't notice, and you picked up some that I didn't notice.
Yeah.
But
number 2, I agree with Shannon. I put Waterloo.
oh yeah.
It's if there's ever a song that after watching that movie that's gonna be stuck in my head the next day or for like the next week, it's gonna be that song, and it's just. The choreography is really great. I love the dancing waiters. Like the humor's really great. The part where they're they pull off like the trays and they're both just under there in their heads, and like I wrote like hype with 3 exclamation points. I just said 10 out of 10 for fun, 10 out of 10 background characters, 10 out of 10 choreography. Like I said, I'm gonna have the song stuck in my head forever. I don't even care. You don't want the number to stop.
No, I want it to keep going. It's too short.
And I think it's interesting because Henry, right? That's Henry? No.
Harry.
Henry's from What a Girl Wants.
Yeah, Henry. Henry is his name. Yeah, Colin Firth's name is Henry. You're right. It's Harry.
Yeah. I think in terms of the second movie, Harry's like out of the 3 boys is probably my least favorite, but he has the best musical number.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
So number 1. It was never not going to be this, Dancing Queen from Mamma Mia, the original. Some of it's personal bias because I love the song Dancing Queen already. Like, I've always loved that song. I've put it on many a CD or a playlist, and it's got Meryl, it has Tanya and Rosie, like, and it starts with just the 3 of them together. They kind of make it comedic in a way.
Yeah.
And Meryl Streep... I combine Streep and Splits together. Meryl Streep does the splits.
She does.
She just did that. She wasn't even, like, that wasn't part of the movie. She was just like, yeah, I felt like I should do the splits at this moment, so I did. And I'm just like, Meryl.
Go for it. Get it.
And then it just builds, and you got all these women coming together, running down to the dock, having a great time. And it's just such a fun number.
Yes.
And I like the grandiose of the second one, I think the first one is just, it's a classic.
Yeah, and for that reason, it's my number 1 as well. Probably unsurprisingly, because of, again, just how great it is and just lifting each other up, especially as women. You know, just helping each other, and it's like, we're here for you. Like, you're a dancing queen. Like, you are phenomenal, and we're going to lift you up until you're back to where you're yourself again. And it's just, it's fantastic. And, of course, it's super catchy, and I think it's probably one of those songs where whenever you hear the band ABBA, that's probably the most popular song. And so while it's not the only reason I chose it, it's because it truly is a fantastic song.
Yeah.
And they nailed it.
And they did it justice.
Yeah, I mean...
They did it justice.
Same number 1, Dancing Queen from the first movie. Pretty much everything you guys said. If there was ever a scene in any movie I'd want to be a part of, it would have been a background character in this scene.
Yeah.
Just to run through the streets of Greece and, like... not have a care in the world. Like, I love the lady who throws the sticks off her back.
Yes.
And it's just like, I'm done with this work. I'm gonna go join the dancing.
Or, like, the lady who just leaves that guy on the ladder.
Yeah, and he's just hanging there.
It's
basically just like a big, like, fuck the patriarchy. Like, let's go and do our thing.
Yeah.
Like, we love that. I think if any musical number sums up, like, the Mamma Mia franchise, like, what it's all about, it would be that scene.
Yes. Be yourself.
Yeah.
You know, empower yourself and each other.
Like,
and
it's fun.
Yeah.
You know.
It's fun.
Yeah. I love it.
Super fun.
Love it.
All right, well, that is our rankings for the Mamma Mia movies. So we are just going to run through our lists again individually, just so you can know what our top 10 is.
Do you have it in order so you know where to...
I got my chicken scratch.
Okay.
Don't worry.
So I didn't know if you had it right.
It's a little hectic over there, but I got it.
Okay.
All right, so starting with number 10, I have Dancing Queen from Mamma Mia 2, Honey Honey, Mamma Mia from Mamma Mia 2, The Winner Takes It All, Slipping Through My Fingers, Waterloo, I've Been Waiting for You, Does Your Mother Know, My Love, My Life, and then Dancing Queen from Mamma Mia.
All right, here we go. Number 10 is Voulez-Vous. Take a Chance on Me is number 9. Does Your Mother Know? Number 8. Mamma Mia from the sequel, 7. Then we've got Mamma Mia from the first movie. Number 5 is When I Kissed the Teacher. The 4th is Super Trooper. Then the third is Fernando. Number 2, Waterloo. And of course, Dancing Queen, number 1.
So number 10, I had Why Did It Have to Be Me? Number 9 was Honey Honey. Number 8 is Dancing Queen from the second movie. Number 7 is Mamma Mia from the second movie. Number 6, Super Trooper from the second movie. Number 5 was I Have a Dream from the second movie. 4 was Does Your Mother Know You're Out? 3, Super Trooper from the first movie. 2, Waterloo. And 1, Dancing Queen from first movie.
All right.
That was
That's Mamma Mia.
There you have it. And if you haven't watched it,
Watch it.
Yeah,
Watch both of them.
Watch both.
or at least listen to a couple
The soundtrack.
songs.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's like, I actually do think in terms of like the second movie, it does a lot better job in terms of a story.
Yes.
That would be my only biggest complaint about the first Mamma Mia, is that,
yeah.
you know, I think the music and the sequences are done really well. The story sometimes is a bit lacking, is all.
Yeah.
I can see that's maybe why the Rotten Tomatoes score was lower.
Yeah.
I do agree. And I know I was like I have to be honest, I do kind of enjoy Mamma Mia 2 a little bit better, but I do think Mamma Mia 1 is more fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the second movie is a better movie.
Is that Mater?
Yeah.
It's Mater.
Mater!
From your
Mater's-
Pixar rankings.
Mater's come to ruin another episode.
He's here.
Sorry, listen.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say I think the first movie is more fun and it's just like a fun time, but I do agree that the second movie is a better movie. Like it does a better job of being like a story structure and musical numbers and kind of having like the musical aspect in movie form.
I think, too, the first movie had a lower budget. You can tell it had a lower budget.
Yeah.
I think some of the scenes come across a little, like, green screen-ish.
Yeah.
In the second movie, you can and plus it's been 10 years, so obviously there's advancements and everything, but you can tell it's a little bit better of a budget. But obviously the first movie, like, made a ton of money, too, so.
Well, the first movie made double the amount of money the
That
second movie made.
Yeah. But yeah, that was fun. I mean, thanks for joining us for this
Thank you for
episode.
having me.
Yeah,
Love to have guests.
Yeah, we do like to have guests, and we're glad to have you. You were one of our, like, when we were first talking about having guests, we had a few people we were like, we want to have on, and you were definitely one of those, and we were like, where are we going to put her?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Made the cut.
Yes.
Well, because we were like, do we do Amanda Bynes? Do we do, like, we were trying to think of something you would appreciate
Oh,
as much
yeah.
as we do. And we're like,
Right.
if anyone loves Mamma Mia besides Mom, when Mom probably doesn't want to be on the podcast, it would be you. So,
Yeah,
we're like,
I
we gotta...
loved 18s as a
Yes.
kid. I didn't even realize it was ABBA until I was older. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was jamming out to ABBA when I was little.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. I love being here.
Yeah. If anybody would like to share their favorite ABBA Mamma Mia song with us, you can let us know. We have our email or Instagram or Twitter.
We will be back next week. What is next week?
Woo!
I don't know
Let
what
me,
it is.
I'm putting on my sunglasses right now. That's it.
That's it. That's
That's
a
it.
hint.
That's a hint.
We will be back next week.
With another fun episode.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
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 We would like to thank Joseph McDade for our intro music. He provides free music available for all kinds of creative use. The song that we used is called Sunrise Expedition, and you can find it and his other music on his website, josephmcdade.com. If you would like to reach us, you can email us at r3podcasts@gmail.com. That's R, the number 3, podcasts@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Instagram by searching Research Rank Repeat.